Hello and welcome to a Q&A with James Burns, who is sat next to me. Thank you very much for having us, James. We're going to be speaking about the Cyber Monitoring Centre launched in January 2024. The thinking behind the Cyber Monitoring Centre is that with the increase in cyber attacks that the industry and society at large has been seeing, there is no way to categorise them as of yet. With an earthquake and with flood, there is magnitude, there is flood depth. With a cyber attack, there is no such thing until you create it. So, here to talk to me about that is James Byrne, Head of Cyber Strategy at CFC. James, could you please give me the quick headlines about what the CMC is looking to do?
Yeah, so the Cyber Monitoring Centre is being set up to consistently classify UK cyber events. So, these events threaten society, the economy more now than at any point in history, yet we still don't have a consistent classification system for dealing with them. And you contrast that to the world of natural perils, where, quake, flood, wind, all threats that businesses and organizations face today, but they have classification systems which are really, really simple and designed for everyone to understand exactly what is going on. They're designed so that the seriousness of any given event can be conveyed quickly and easily. And the Cyber Monitoring Centre is being set up as an attempt to do the same thing for the digital world. We need to be able to convey the seriousness of any given cyber event quickly and easily and in a way that everybody understands, and that's what the Cyber Monitoring Centre is being set up to do.
So you've talked about the things you're looking to achieve with the launch of this body. What I'm maybe interested in is where you would like the cyber industry to be in 5 years as a result of the launch of the CMC body.
So yeah, I guess ultimately we're looking for the body to bring transparency and clarity to what is currently a confusing and chaotic world. And that transparency and that clarity should feed into a much better way for the cyber insurance market to address systemic risk, which should prove to create a much more confident market that's able to reach its full potential. So I spoke earlier about the potential for this body to, or the way this body operates, to be used as a mechanism in insurance policies for addressing systemic risk. Having much clearer and much more objective definitions for cyber cat risk can only be good for the market, because I think a large part of the challenge at the moment is in the ability for insurers and reinsurers to properly define cat risk, and that leads to a level of uncertainty, which in turn, potentially inhibits the growth of the market, as there's a lack of full comfort in relation to what all the exposures are. If we're able to minimize that uncertainty and even eliminate it to a certain extent, it should see the unlocking of much more reinsurance capacity, which could lead to the growing of a flourishing cyber reinsurance market, which in turn will support the long-term growth of the insurance market with a product that's much more broadly purchased, and with every stakeholder being much more confident that systemic risk is being properly addressed.
Absolutely. I think what that brings up to me is that the importance of the independence of the body, as you talked about.
Absolutely.
Because is it your view that perhaps these categorizations could be used in policy wordings to make sure that cyber policies are more accurately defined?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the same way that the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale, utilised by the National Hurricane Centre to assign severity ratings to hurricanes, is used by the property cat market as triggers in insurance and reinsurance contracts for when cat risk is being addressed. You could see exactly the same model being applied or being adopted by the cyber insurance and reinsurance market, and it's that independence piece which allows you to have that clarity, because an independent body making a classification is very objective as a trigger and within contracts, and that's something that the market's lacking at the moment in relation to cyber cat.
So you've spoken about the challenges in the cyber reinsurance market there. And maybe you could just expand on those and how you think that the CMC body would actually help solve some of those challenges.
Yes, I mean the cyber reinsurance market has a huge role to play in the growth of the cyber insurance market. Something like 50% of cyber insurance premiums at the moment are reinsured, largely through in the world of sort of quota share. But what I think we're starting to see, or we will start to see, is that as cedents become more comfortable in how attritional and large loss cyber risk should be priced, that quota share purchasing will probably dial down. And actually where I think more support is needed is in the non-proportional section of the reinsurance market. And in that market, I think we've probably seen not a lack of capacity, but potentially a lack of capacity priced at a level that cedents are happy to pay. And the feedback that I get is that a lot of that is to do with the level of uncertainty that still exists around cyber cat and when cyber event reinsurance contracts may trigger or not trigger. And that's where I think the cyber monitoring centre can really help, because it provides that independent classification mechanism which can be used to provide much cleaner and much more objective triggers for reinsurance contracts.
And you mentioned that the cyber reinsurers there. I mean, one of the issues that the cyber reinsurance market has been facing is that there's a lack of perceived confidence with cyber reinsurers. I mean, how much confidence can these categorizations that you're provide to the reinsurers?
Well, I think it's a huge leap forward from where we are at the moment in terms of defining severity of cat risk. So defining an event has been one of the core challenges for the cyber market because of the nature of cyber threats and attacks. The line between what is a defined cyber cat event and what's actually just a collection of attritional claims can be quite blurred. What the Cyber Monitoring Centre does is it provides very clear and objective parameters for cyber events. So we're talking about core metrics which are objectively calculated. And that's, I think, a huge difference, and it's exactly the direction I can imagine the reinsurance market would like to see the market travel.
So what is clear from this conversation is that the Cyber Monitoring Centre that you are setting up with the independent involvement that you have could be revolutionary for the categorisation of cyber attacks. What is left to be seen is exactly how it develops. So thank you very much for speaking to me, James, and see you soon.
Thanks, Yanis.